Welcome to our first event of the Bowlero Summer Challenge Series, the 2018 Barbiere's Italian Inn Youth Open. I'm Phil Brillo with you here from Bowlero in Wauwatosa. Newly remodeled and ready for a lot of strikes from these young players. 2 semifinal matches leading up to our championship match. Winner of the title today will take home a $100 Visa gift card courtesy of Bowlero in Wauwatosa. Get ready for a lot of great action here. We'll be back with our first semifinal match.
So what's it gonna be tonight? Be the crew that rolls deep. Be Lord of the Lanes. Be your alter ego. Be unfiltered. Be a strike dance machine. Be that guy. Be ballsy. Be 12 pounds of fury. Be superstitious. Be granny style. Be any style. Hey, it's your night. Be bold.
The Bowlero Summer Challenge Series kicking off with event number 1, the 2018 Barbiere's Italian Inn Youth Open. From Bowlero and Wauwatosa, our first semifinal, Brent Boho battling Ben Wood. You've seen a lot of Brent Boho on our Spectrum Sports spring and summer youth telecasts over the last couple of years. This is the 8th consecutive TV show for Boho. And unfortunately for Boho, it's breaks like that that has him at a losing record for those 8 consecutive TV events. Only 2 titles taken away in those 8 events by Boho. Quality shot there, just happens to have too much entry angle. 5 pins sliced off the 9. No deflection of the bowling ball. And Boho, member of Junior Team USA, is going to switch to that polyester bowling ball. Crossing at the spare, that slow, stalking 2-handed style that Boho's used for years. Starts off our first semifinal with the spare. Second semifinal is going to feature Jalen Hanen battling Payne Fakler. And Fakler will be making his first appearance on TV. We've seen Ben Wood before when he was part of the Oak Creek High School team. Ben graduated in 2017 from Oak Creek High School after they won the state championship for the boys. And now attends UW Whitewater. And Wood gets the mixer strike for his first solo shot on television. Very different styles here. 2-handed style for Boho, a very muscled style. You see the shoulder high backswing, a little bit old school for Wood, as he gets the lucky bounce off the sideboard to take the 9 down after the 4 is tripped by the 2, and an early double. Ben Wood gets him ahead of Boho. One would think, if you just look at the records of these 2 young players getting into this match, advantage would be to Boho many times under the TV lights, many times in pressure situations. And with the bowlers on this 43-foot Bowlero challenge pattern, a good amount of oil buildup all the way across the lane. You see the bowlers playing very tight lines in the pocket. And that time the 9-pin goes down for Boho, as he trails by 10 pins. Boho averaged over 240 in qualifying on this very tough, sport-compliant lane condition. Wood averaged just under 230 for his qualifying game. So once these players figured out where they need to play on the lanes, it's just a matter of getting the carry going. Everyone in our top 8 averaged at least 225 in qualifying on the boys' side. And another quality shot there by Boho as he puts a strike on the board for a double. BowlSummerGames.com. That's right, this summer at Bowlero. Buy a Summer Games pass. You can bowl 3 games every day from mid-May through Labor Day. For one low price, go check out bowlsummergames.com for all that information. And Ben Wood, even with having a little timing issue on that shot, you saw him fall off to the right, managed to get the ball on target line, and another mixer strike on lane 4. Lane 4 on this pair usually plays a bit tighter than lane 3. This is one of the tougher pairs inside of Bowlero. A lot of players, if they have the chance, avoid this pair of lanes. It does play tougher than some others, and none of these players were on this pair of lanes during qualifying. Save this pair just for use on Spectrum Sports telecast. You see the light shot there by Wood, not letting that ball get into a strong roll. Almost left the 4, 5, and 7. Just the 4-7 converted by Wood. And he maintains an 8-pin lead, but that can disappear quickly if Boho can put another strike on the board. I want to thank Barbiere's Italian Inn, both locations, the one on Blue Mountain Road in Milwaukee and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee, for their sponsorship of this Youth Open, along with all their sponsorships now for the 11 seasons we've been on the air in Southeast Wisconsin. Best Italian food you'll find, garlic bread to die for. Just ask anyone that's been to Barbiere's recently. Boho looking for the turkey and splits the 8 and the 9 beautifully and gets that big strike on the board. Castellanes and Racine, always a hop-in place volleyball this summer. Some great summer leagues as well. If you're in the Racine area or are looking for something to do basically any night of the week, check out castellanes.com. They have some great bowling specials, some great summer leagues, and some fun volleyball leagues as well. I want to thank Phil and Patty Onko once again for their support, and we'll be visiting them later this summer for one of our televised events. Stay tuned for information on that event once it's finalized. Boho stepping up in the high 5 gear 5th frame. You see him styling his high 5 gear jersey. Strike here is a $25 gift certificate from high 5 gear, and he takes the 9 out late. He'll definitely be making an adjustment off that shot. You see Ben Wood styling his high 5 gear jersey as well. It is the jersey of choice for a majority of our players here in our Bowlero Summer Challenge Series, and we thank High 5 Gear once again for their support. All kinds of timing issues that time for Ben Wood. You saw the elbow come out early, and that ball very spinny going down lane, especially with that pearlized cover on the bowling ball. He's trying to get some late reaction when the ball gets off the end of this 43-foot pattern. However, changing his axis rotation by spinning it didn't allow the ball to grab properly. And even there, I think he's looking for a little more back end on the shot. Covers up that bucket, finds himself in a deficit by 16 pins. And the one man you can't afford to give a deficit to, as we've seen many times on these telecasts, is Brent Boho. Next event coming up here on Spectrum Sports as part of the Bowlero Summer Challenge Series, the Bowlero Spring Shootout. Bowlers will be battling on a 35-foot lane pattern on that show, and battling the solid 8-pin right now, Ben Wood. Probably the best shot he's made this game. Keeps it on target line, but that head pin gets right back into the 5. 5 goes a little bit to the right at first before the ball hits it. Doesn't make contact with the 8-pin. And Wood needs to make the spare to stay close to the match. Covers it up nicely. We're going to get to our first commercial break of the day. Join us back here from Bowlero in Wauwatosa for the remainder of this first semifinal match. Brent Boho, 17-pin lead, getting into his half of the 6th frame here for the Barbiere's Italian Inn Youth Open. I'm Phil Breiler here with you from Bowlero in Wauwatosa. They'll be hosting the next 8 events you'll see here on Spectrum Sports. Once again, I want to thank their support for our 11 televised seasons with Spectrum Sports. And looking forward to season number 12 beginning in the fall. Brent Boho looking to extend the string of strikes out to 5. On target line, and another great shot by Boho. Gets his lead out to 27 pins. Boho looking at a possible 290 game, which would be his highest ever on television. Of course, one 300 game in our 11 seasons on Spectrum Sports, and that 300 game was of the alternate shot doubles variety, with Tony Buss and Dave Gajewski doing that several years back at the Action Heating and Cooling alternate shot doubles tournament at Motion Plus Lanes. We've had a solo 299 on the telecast before, that by Paul Kaboski at Sunset Bowl in 2012. Another good shot by Boho. Too much angle. Once again, we almost saw him leave the 9-pin in the 5th frame, this time in frame 7 on that same lane 3. The 9 stands, and as deep as he's playing the lane, he's going to need to make a little bit of a bigger adjustment to not leave that 9-pin any further this match. Boho knows that breaks like that are part of the game. You just need to refocus, get that polyester ball in hand, take down that single pin, and not give your opponent any advantage in the match. Dead on the 9-pin for Boho, and that keeps his lead at 26 pins. Maximum score now for Boho, 269. However, maximum score right now for Ben Wood is 253. Wood needs to start striking in a hurry, and somehow that 6-pin comes back out of the gutter. Head of it taps on the bottom of the 10 and takes it down. And Wood's going to have to build on that break. You see the deflection on that bowling ball. Not a strong roll at the pocket. He's getting to the pocket. Just needs to make sure that the roll is stronger to make sure he can get all 10 down on half pocket hits. Flush pocket that time for Wood. And takes all 10 down, cuts Boho's lead down to 16 pins as Wood gets a couple of high fives from a few people in the crowd here. Boho stepping up. Perfect on this lane on his first 3 attempts as they battle this 43-foot Bowlero challenge pattern. A lot of oil volume in the pattern. That's why you're seeing these bowlers stay on very tight lines to the pocket. Any ball that's released to the outside of target really has a problem getting back to the pocket. And somehow, some way, Boho proves me wrong. Made that last second adjustment at the line, seemed to get under it a little bit more and slow the ball speed down. And watch that ball come ripping back off of about 4th board. Almost left the pocket 6-pin because of the severe angle to go with taking the 4-pin out on a light mixer late. Boho right near striking the 9th really puts the pressure on Ben Wood. Boho can basically force his opponent to strike out to just leave Boho with needing a mark in the 10th frame. Ninth frame for Boho. Made the adjustment left and gets the 4-10 to go late. Boho has to be feeling very confident he's going to be finishing this match on the right lane. Boho already in the 230s, even with an open. Ben Wood needs to strike out to put any pressure on Boho, and there's another strike for Wood. He's really tightened that line up. He's gotten away with a couple of half-pocket shots. Once again, you see a deflection that time. 6-pin barely gets into the 10. With 253 still possible for Wood, he could force first ball strike by Brent Boho by punching all 3 here. On line solidly, 5 explodes into the 7. And that's going to force Boho to get a mark in the 10th frame. Another strike here by Ben Wood. Forced Boho to get the first strike in the 10th here. The Sabre strikeout frame. Sabre laser tag in Pewaukee will award a $25 laser tag gift card for any player that strikes out in the 10th frame of a Bowlero Summer Series televised match. And Ben Wood trying to give himself a little laser tag along with staying in this match. Second strike in the 10th down. Count here somewhat irrelevant, but he's going to try to get every shot, every pin possible down on this shot, especially because there's $25 from Sabre laser tag in Pewaukee on the line, and the 5 in front of the 7. No laser tag for Ben Wood this match. We'll have to see if he'll get a chance to advance to the finals, but that's going to take some help from his opponent, Brent Boho. Boho needs a strike on this first ball. And solid count, second ball of the 10th frame to advance to the championship match. Jalen Hanen, Payne Fakler, waiting in the wings for their semifinal. And you can't blame Boho for taking a little extra time on the shot, knowing he needs this to advance. Slow stalk to the line, and that was a little quicker than last time on that lane. He made the last second adjustment off the light 4-pin trip. That time ball speed a little higher, ball comes in late. 2-4-10 is the result. Regardless if he makes this, he's done, and Ben Wood is going to advance to our championship match where he still has a chance to take down the $100 Visa gift card. Brent Boho taking down a $30 Visa gift card for his efforts in this match. And final score, 252 Ben Wood, Brent Boho 234. We'll see who else is going to advance to that championship match, and we're back with our second semifinal from Bowlero in Wauwatosa. We're here at Bowlero in Wauwatosa, one semifinal in the books. Ben Wood awaiting the winner of the second semifinal in the championship match. I'm Phil Bridle, bringing you all the action today. Payne Fakler and Jalen Hanen battling it out here in this second semifinal. We've seen Hanen on plenty of our Spectrum Sports telecasts in the past. She did take out a championship last summer at Sussex Bowl in this Barbiere's Italian and Youth Open. And a little bit high on her first shot, leaving the 310 a little bit of a bad break, with the head pin coming back off another pin and taking the 6 out. She'll simply get this ball to the right side of the 3 pin, have the ball deflect into the 10 for the textbook spare conversion, if she shoots it that way. That's a little bit right of target, and we see it go behind the 3 pin, just taking out the 10 in an early open frame for Hanen. Fakler, his first television appearance with us. Young man just graduated from Nathan Hale High School. He'll be attending Weber International in Florida beginning this fall. And Fakler, it's definitely high speed, high revs for this young man. And he's using a pretty medium bowling ball on this 43-foot pattern, trying to keep the ball directly towards the head pin, letting his speed and revolutions dominate the shot, not necessitating the ball to do all the work. See that nice low drop shoulder, the backswing almost reminiscent of old school Pete Weber, straight to the ceiling, and a big double early for Fakler to get a 21-pin lead. See Jalen's dad, Mike Hanen, Mike the proprietor of Sunset Bowl and Foxview Lanes in Waukesha. Purchased Foxview within the last year. He's done a lot of remodeling in that center. If you haven't stopped in Foxview Lanes recently, go check it out on West Sunset in Waukesha. The scrambler for Hanen doesn't get the 10 to go on the light hit. We've seen lane 4 playing a little bit tighter than lane 3, and you can see on that shot, ball gets into the pocket late. That nice lane level shot. Not a lot of strong roll on that ball. You see the 6-pin deflect into the 10. And he'll switch back to that polyester ball. She uses that interchangeable thumb. Try to get the same feel from shot to shot. And that's right, a target off for hand, and does not hold on. And rare back-to-back opens for Hainan to start off the second semifinal. Joe Serra at Bowlers Pro Shop. He's been with us as a sponsor since the start of our telecast 11 seasons ago. Go check out plenty of summer specials. bpsmilwaukee.com. It's a great time of year to get your equipment resurfaced. You can get a reviver treatment, get all the stored up oil that's been absorbed by your bowling ball back out. Get the surface of your ball basically as good as new for a low, low price. That is left the target again for Hainan. And this time, the extreme back end reaction gets her in trouble. Slices through, leaves the 3-4, 6-10. And Hainan looking at back-to-back-to-back opens to begin this semifinal match, and that may be too big of a hole early on to dig herself out of against a bowler of the quality of Fackler. She'll basically shoot this the same way she shot at the 3-10 last time on this lane. Hit the 3-pin on the right, slide it over into the 4-7 zone. And that a little bit too much to the right, and the unusual count of 25 in the 5th for Hainan leaves her in a 45-pin deficit early on in this match. And you see Jalen knows the match isn't over yet, but it's a large hole she's got herself into. She goes back to talk to her dad, Mike. Maybe change the lane strategy up a little bit. Fackler a little early on the rotation on that shot. Even with the high speed, high revs, ball hits weak in the pocket. And the 6-pin just does nothing on the 10. Take a look at that replay. 6-pin tries to make a wiggle out, but not enough power to do so. Fackler King here just making his spares. You see he switches balls. Goes dead straight at that 10-pin, no problem. Covering it up. Don't forget about the Summer Games Pass here at Bowlero. One low price gets you 3 games a day from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Get a lot of practice in for very little money. Check it out at bowlsummergames.com. And I want to thank Dan Patterson, Regional Manager at Bowlero, along with Dan Schuett, Angie Lamb, Operations and General Manager, respectively, for all their help getting this Bowlero Summer Challenge Series going in 2018. Glad to be having a lot of events here this summer. And if you haven't been here to check out the remodel, it is not the old Bowlero you remember. Lots of great food on the menu and lots of good times to be had on the lanes. Hainan looking for her first mark in 4 frames. And once again, a little direct to the pocket, not a strong roll. And a lot of pins battle to fight to take down the 7. However, the speed the head pin comes off the sideboard interferes with the 4 and 5 getting over to the 7-pin zone. Good news for Hainan, should be an easy single pin spare. Hainan won 300 game to her credit, 788, her high series. And she's finished in the top 50 in her age group at junior gold the last 3 years. She's battled back from a knee injury this season. We saw her earlier when she took the Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship in 2018. She had a knee brace on her knee. She's gotten through that and is looking to begin her college career now that she's graduated from Waukesha West. The college career will take place at UW-Whitewater, part of that powerhouse NCAA program. Probably the best Division III program in the NCAA women's bowling over the last 15 years. High five gear, fifth frame, a strike here. Gets that player the $25 high five gear gift certificate. And you see there for Haanen wearing her high five gear jersey, $25 off her next jersey. And Fackler looking to get $25 from high five gear as well. Got to get him out of that other jersey he has on. Get him some good high five gear equipment and $25 to Fackler as well from high five gear. Keeps his lead at 54 pins, but he must stay vigilant. A couple of open frames along with a couple of strikes from Haanen will let her right back in this match. Haanen's maximum score right now, looking at 215, so that's still within reach. With a couple of mistakes by Fackler. No mistake there, however. Splits the 8 and 9. Great strike to get into our commercial break for this match. Join us back from Bowlero and Wauwatosa, the second semifinal of the 2018 Barbiere's Italian Inn Youth Open.
Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mound Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com.
Jalen Haanen finds herself in a big hole just past the halfway point of this second semifinal. The 2018 Barbiere's Italian Inn Youth Open. I'm Phil Brylow, bringing you all the action here from Bowlero in Wauwatosa. Haanen's been close to the pocket on this lane, has yet to carry, and the weak 10 pin makes an appearance once again for Haanen. Third shot in the pocket on that lane, 2 10s and a 7 to show for it. And you can see the frustration continues for Haanen as she tries to get back into this match. We'll see if she maybe makes a ball change or a line change on that lane next time she's up. She's got a couple pieces of equipment to choose from, as all these high quality players do. And the good cover there by Haanen. Keep yourself within 54 pins. We've seen deficits like this overcome in competition in the past. Just requires a lot of strikes by Haanen and a couple of mistakes by Fackler for that to happen. And she's going to stick with that same bowling ball she's been using. She must like the way the ball reacts on the back end on this 43-foot Bowlero challenge pattern. Gets that ball to roll up nicely, however, just a little high in the pocket, leaves the 4 pin. And as you can see with this pattern, you can get a bit touchy. It's not your normal league shot where if you pitch it out to the right, it'll come back. If you pitch it left, it'll stay in the pocket. You give it a little extra revolutions or a little slow on the speed, you don't get that bonus area. Those 10-to-1 house patterns give you this pattern here about a 3-to-1 ratio. Plays as tough as a lot of patterns you'd see on the PBA or PWBA tours. For these young players, they've just found a way to figure out how to score on it and maximize their carry. Fackler looking to close this match out early if he can get a couple more strikes here in the 7th and 8th frames. A high backswing, strong end over end roll, and even with a bit of deflection at the pocket, he hits light. Headpin does a devastating job on the 4, 5, and 7 pins. I want to thank our friends at Peckus Family at Action Heating and Cooling. You saw their most recent telecast, the Action Team Shootout for Motion Plus Lanes here on Spectrum Sports. Always appreciate their support for many years now on our televised shows. Fackler to practically close this out, and he really was off on his timing on that shot. You saw him get up on his toes at the foul line. It's a great way to impart power to the bowling ball, no doubt about it, by getting that upper body strength into it. But in that case, leaning forward is going to get that ball pulled to the left, and he leaves the 3-6 combination. Fackler, a young man, doesn't like taking much time on the approach. He knows what he wants to do. And just gets the 3 and 6 covered. Still stuck with that reactive resin bowling ball. Even when you throw it hard and fast, it's still going to have a little hook on the back end. And that hook almost cost Fackler the spare. You see just making a bit of a connection on the 6-pin to knock it over. And now for Haanen, basically it's, let's try to find something good. Hold her head up high, get it out of this match. She knows it's pretty much over. Of course, now that things really don't matter, the strikes will start coming. You see the look of slight disdain she gives herself on the way back there. And even with the experience a young player like Haanen has under the TV lights, under the pressure of many different tournaments, one game, never easy to make those initial plays on the lane correctly. Sometimes your eyes fool you, your thought process fools you a bit. You make a bit of the wrong move on the lane or use the wrong ball in your hand, and you get yourself in trouble early. If it was the qualifying portion of this tournament, where she had a few additional games to get herself righted, she'd be able to do that, but you only have 10 frames on TV, and if you make 5 of those frames good ones, it may not be enough to win a match. And right now, Fackler looking like he's advancing to the championship match against Ben Wood. You just saw Wood go out of your picture. He's going to get himself loose on the practice pair. And Fackler may want to get that ball speed back down a little bit. He's starting to amp it up a bit. Not letting the ball get into a proper roll. You see there, watch the replay. The head pin comes off the sideboard. Keeps the 5-pin from getting into the 7 zone. And that's one thing, not just a lot of young players, but a lot of league bowlers in general, they don't pay attention to the way the pins are falling at the end of the lane. If you have too much ball speed, or you're not coming in at the right angle, that head pin can do more damage than good on your score. If it comes off the sideboards too quick and at too severe of an angle, and if it starts blocking other pins from falling down, it can affect your carry. Well, match no longer in doubt. We're going to fast track through to the end of this match. It'll be Fackler and Woods in the championship match. $100 Visa gift card going to the winner. As both of our players this match, Fackler and Haanen, looking for the Sabre Strikeout. $25 gift certificate from Sabre Laser Tag in Pewaukee if they were to get all 3 strikes in the 10th. And they both have their first strike. And sometimes people question, well, how can young bowlers win merchandise prizes? I thought all they were allowed is scholarship awards or trophies or plaques. Well, USBC rules allow for merchandise awards up to $500 in value in one event to be given away. So companies like High Five Gear can help get bowlers into their stylish jerseys. And companies like Sabre Laser Tag can help the players have a little more fun off the lanes, as you see there for Haanen. Yep, they're all falling down. She's gone. A little too late for me. But she still has a chance for the Sabre Strikeout. And she's going to be taking home the $25 High Five Gear gift certificate for her strike in the 5th frame, and $30 in a Visa gift card thanks to Bowlero for her finish in the tournament. So it'll be Ben Wood against Payne Fackler in a championship match. Join us from Bowlero and Wauwatosa for that championship match after this short break. There's some laser tag at Sabre Laser Tag for Haanen. We're at Bowlero in Wauwatosa, 2018 Barbiere's Italian Youth Open Championship match. Don't blink, ladies and gentlemen. These are 2 young players that don't like to take a lot of time on the approach. Payne Fackler, Ben Wood, battling out for the $100 Visa gift card for the champion of this match. And Fackler starts with the powerful strike. Both these young players can throw a lot of strikes. We saw Fackler shoot 236 in his match against Jalen Hanen. Ben Wood, 252 in his match against Brent Boho. And as they keep this 43-foot Bowlero challenge lane pattern very straight, very direct, I expect to see a lot of strikes in this championship as well, as Ben Wood matches Fackler's first frame strike. With these players, a little different approach to get to the foul line. Both these young players like the high-speed, high-rev game to try and knock down as many pins as possible. See Wood a little bit farther behind the foul line at the finish than Fackler. Sometimes that can get Wood in trouble. If he sets the ball down early on the foul line or just after where there's no oil on the lanes, that can change the axis rotation of the bowling ball, and I think that's what may have happened right there as the ball picked up early for Wood. He crossed over, got the lucky strike, and Fackler, not concerned about his opponent's good break, steps up, packs 10 back on his own. I know speed bowling isn't normally a thing here at our respective sports shows, but both these young men wasting no time on the approach. I like that attitude. Keeps you from overthinking a shot, keeps you from overanalyzing a situation, keep you from physically tightening up from shot to shot. And unfortunately, a little too tight of a line on that shot for Fackler in the pocket. Ball slices through, leaves a 4-9. Bowler Fackler's capabilities, I'd say he has about a 15% shot of converting this spare. You need to hit it on the left side of the 4-pin. You've got about 3/16 of an inch to hit on that left side of the 4-pin to slide it over into the 9. Unfortunately, the wrong 3/16 hit by Fackler there in an early open frame. Let's see if Wood can take advantage of it as he takes a quick glance at the scoreboard to see the situation. Wood, high game 297. High series of 740. As Wood comes up a bit high. Takes the 9 down with the bowling ball. Only the 4-pin remains. And this should be a relatively easy spare for Ben Wood. And a little slow hook at the 4-pin. Covers it up nicely. Wood, an IT major at UW-Whitewater. Likes to play a lot of different video games when he's not studying at school or out on the lanes. He's actually writing a role-playing game for one of his computer science classes at Whitewater as he was approaching this tournament. And that ball comes up high. 3/6-10 is the leave for Wood. And you see right there, it gets a little quick to the line. You see that foot turn to the right. The ball gets pulled across his body. And he's going to stay with the reactive resin ball, just uses speed to straighten it out, and gets the cover on the 3/6-10. Maintains a 10-pin lead over Fackler. Fackler's high series 737, does a lot of his bowling at Classic Lanes in Greenfield. And is going to be taking a sports management major, possibly, after I was talking with his dad, Greg, at Weber International. If he doesn't do sports marketing, he's definitely going to be looking into accounting. I say kill 2 birds with 1 stone, double major it. Sports marketing, accounting. You could be a great player agent that way and not only keep the 10% for being the player's representative, but keep another few percent for doing its checkbook. Here we are, high 5 gear, 5th frame. Fackler looking to add another $25 to what he won in game 2. Not to be the case, as the 9-pin defies that powerful shot of Fackler. And it's going to keep Payne in a deficit to Wood. You see that ball slice the 5 right off the 9. Nothing even near the 9-pin on that powerful shot. Goes cross lane, stays with the reactive ball, a little bit of a hook back into the 9-pin, and no problem with the conversion. Ben Wood, wanted to thank Brad Bouch, former Wisconsin high school mixed doubles participant. Saw Brad on TV a couple times in his high school career. And Wood gets $25 and a gift certificate from High Five Gear for that 5th frame strike. Wood also wanted to thank his mom Mary and his dad Mike for all the help they've provided with his bowling and education over the years. Wood looking to expand the lead if he can get a double on the board here in the 6th frame, and that's way too much hand in that shot. Tried giving it a bit extra, got tentative at the foul line, and is lucky to leave just the 10-pin. You see Wood shaking his head at the end of the approach. Let's see what he does here. He's going to stay with the strike ball. Do it a la Norm Duke, just flatten it out and use an end-over-end roll to keep it on line. And that's pulled left, and big trouble getting into the commercial break for Wood. A few frames remaining here. We'll find out who our champion is from Bowlero and Wauwatosa. Stay tuned. Why just watch the action when you can be part of the action at Sabre Laser Tag in Pewaukee? Take the challenge in one of 2 5,500 square foot arenas. Battle it out with family and friends using realistic military-style weapons. Come out and celebrate a birthday. Bring out your employees or coworkers for team building. Or take advantage of our specials running Monday through Thursday. Check us out on the web at sabertag.com. Payne Fackler takes the lead on the bench with Ben Wood missing a 10-pin in the 6th frame. Let's see what Fackler can do to take advantage. Just a 2-pin lead as Fackler steps up in his half of the 6th frame. Scrambles the 10 pins around at the back of the lane. Puts a strike on the board. Once again, I want to thank Barbiere's in Milwaukee and South Milwaukee for the sponsorship of this event. Not only do they have the great food in the restaurant, but you can get their food catered. If you have a business luncheon, work function, they can deliver that great Italian food to you. And a great shot delivered there by Fackler to put a double on the board, get his lead out to 12 pins. Ben Wood needs to empty the memory bank quickly after missing that 10 pin in the 6th frame. That's left the target, and he should be very thankful he made the save on the bottom of that shot. You saw the abbreviated follow-through, the fall-off to the right. And this is one of those cases where I know neither bowler likes to take additional time on the approach to make quality shots, but sometimes that extra half a second, that extra exhale before you start your delivery can help. Well, he packs another strike. Wood keeps himself within 2 pins of Fackler with the double in the 7th and 8th. And it's anybody's match with that $100 Visa gift card on the line and getting into the end of this championship. Fackler, the 5 steps to the line. That's a little right of target. And you can see there, ball just didn't have the opportunity to come back. 6-pin, hard to believe it can just rattle in the flat gutter when it's hit that hard by a 15-pound object. But that angle, not enough. Flat gutter swallows the 6. And now Ben Wood can step up in the 9th and 10th frames and lock up this match regardless of what Fackler does here with his spare now in the 8th and any possible strikeout in the 9th and 10th. Fackler's maximum score right now is 225. Ben Wood, if we were to strike out in the 9th and 10th, could put up 234. See Fackler, after changing back from that urethane bowling ball for the spare to straighten it out, gets back into that reactive resin ball. And that's on target line, and that time he gets the 6 to snap out the 10. But unfortunately for Fackler, he's in a wait-and-see mode now, as Ben Wood can step up in the 9th and 10th frames, strike out, and lock up this championship. See the big exhale for Wood right before he gets in the approach. He falls off that shot again, and that sent that shot slightly to the left. Ball slices past the 9-pin, and we've had more 9-pins left by our players today than we've had 10-pins. Just goes to show you the power these young players have with these 15-pound bowling balls and the high rev game. You really need to pay attention to the angles all the way through the pocket. Well, Ben Wood can strike out now for 213. That would force Fackler to go strike 9, spare for 214. But it has to start with the first one, the 10th here for Ben Wood, and the chance for the Sabre strikeout. That time he gets all 10 down, keeping his hopes alive. Right now, that forces simply a mark out of Fackler. A strike here on the second shot of the 10th by Wood would force the first strike and good count out of Fackler. Wood making that little bit of an adjustment. He knows he came a bit high. Wants to get flush in the pocket. Gets the 6 to slap out the 10. And he's got to be thinking to himself right now, boy, if I didn't miss that 10-pin in the 6th frame, I'd be looking at 224 right now, and that would force Fackler to strike out to beat me by a pin. Right now, Fackler just needs the first strike and good count. This shot here for Wood gets the $25 Sabre strikeout gift card, but also forces Fackler to go strike 9, spare for the win. Fackler looks pretty relaxed right now, but he knows the situation. Gets himself lined up on the approach, makes sure that grip is nice and loose. Fires at the foul line. Kicks the 10 out. Looks relaxed right now, but he knows the job isn't done. 9, spare, the necessity. For 214, all Ben Wood can do now is look on. And it's up to his opponent. Let's see whether he walks out of here with a $100 Visa gift card for championship or $50 Visa gift card for second place. Why waste time with a 9 spare when Fackler can get all 10 back and take home his Barbiere's Italian and Youth Open Championship? $100 Visa gift card. He already has the $25 high five gear gift certificate from his strike in the 5th frame of the semifinal match. Now he's looking for the Sabre strikeout with that shot, and he gets it with the messenger. And your champion here from Bowlero and Wauwatosa, Payne Fackler, will be back to wrap up this contest after this short break.
So what's it gonna be tonight? Be the crew that rolls deep. Be Lord of the Lanes. Be your alter ego. Be unfiltered. Be a strike dance machine. Be that guy. Be ballsy. Be 12 pounds of fury. Be superstitious. Be granny style. Be any style. Hey, it's your night. Be bold.
Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com.
What a great battle in our championship match here from Bowlero and Wauwatosa for the 2018 Barbiere's Italian and Youth Open. Ben Wood in control of the match early until a missed 10-pin in the 6th frame Left Wood trailing Payne Fackler. Fackler kept a tight lead the rest of the way. When he came up to the 10th frame where Fackler needed a strike 9 spare to lock up the championship, Fackler throws all 3 in the 10th to take home the $100 Visa gift card. Our next telecast coming to you from Bowlero and Wauwatosa, the 2018 Bowlero Spring Challenge. Our young players will come back on a 35-foot PBA type pattern. See who's going to take home that top prize this time. A $200 Visa gift card on the line, thanks to our friends here at Bowlero. I'm Phil Bridle. Parents, take the kids bowling. They will have fun for life. And congratulations to our champion here for the Barbiere's Youth Open, Payne Fackler.